There's many ways to learn perspective in life. Is there not? But I think you'll agree there is only one way to learn perspective that is universal pretty much to everyone, whether you want to admit it or not, or not even wise enough to know what way that is to make you learn perspective. And that is the hard way. The hard way is the way you truly learn perspective. And in my case, tend to stay learned. Because for me, I'm rather titanium headed. So things really have to go through a lot before they get in there. But once they're in there for life because they've been beaten in there, a lot of them, and so they're staying. But basically, you know what I mean. You learn perspective the hard way. And that can go for many different things. The important thing is that you learn it. And you adjust yourself and you kick your ego the fuck out of the equation. And you get down to making yourself better, smarter, more effective, efficient. But okay, I have an example for you. I actually wrote it down. So I wouldn't go too off track with this, but I have a real life example of someone learning perspective the hard way. Actually, in this story, it's not me who learned it. Well, I kind of did in a way, but it's a little different. The other person learned it. I gave it to him to learn. Okay, here's the story. True story. This goes way back when. This is actually was the very first occasion in life that I've ever had to defend myself physically using my fists and fighting. The very first time, and I remember it, and I was not even in kindergarten, or maybe I was in kindergarten. Yeah, I was in kindergarten. Yeah, I was in kindergarten because this kid was like in third grade or something. Fucking bully guy. And I lived in these little like apartment project type things at that, time. I was like 1975 or something, somewhere around there. And so what happened was I was after school one day and I was out in the, playground in the apartment complex, had a playground in the middle. This was nothing really, like dumpsters and broken glass and a couple of poles and, nothing really. Concrete, broken glass, graffiti and assholes, older assholes around, a bunch of kids and playing, but that's what it was for us. And I was playing, so going out to play. And then one day, right, it was in the afternoon, it was after school, we only did the half days of kindergarten, and I was there playing with like about, a handful of other kids my age, and this fucking little asshole who was huge to us, because he was like third grade, like I said, and we were kindergarten, or barely it, and he was like almost like twice our size, and just older, and everyone was afraid of him. I'd never seen him before. This was the first time I've ever seen the kid. And I remember he comes into the little group, he's like walking through our area to go through the stairs, and he like comes up to us, like took the kid's ball, who had the ball, so who's that? What do you got there? And one kid had some candy or something, he took that. He came over to me, what do I got? I said, nothing, I don't have anything. And he smacked me across my face. And I was pissed. Even back then, I was pissed. I was shocked for a second. No one ever hit me in my life at that point. And I knew that was huge bullshit because he was like an adult. He was huge, compared to us. I must have been about, 40 or 50 pounds, tiny little stick kid at kindergarten. So what did I do? I bolted home, to tell my mom. I don't know what I were thought to do, but luckily for me, two of my mom's friends were visiting her at the time, and these were two guys. And one of them was like a biker guy. I remember he's really kind of big and scary looking, but he loved me, and they all knew me and everything I had been through already up to that point in life, which I'm not getting into now. But so I was like the big guy's favorite little guy. And I came in, like, oh, Jason, I hadn't seen me while I came in. I was like kind of crying and stuff. My face had a mark on it as well. And I told them exactly what happened. And they were pissed, and everyone was pissed. And then I just remember, I remember two guys going, you sure he's still there? I said, yeah, pretty sure. It's right around the building. He said, all right, let's go. So, all right, I went with them. And I'm walking behind my two forces now. And we go to the group where all the kids were, and he was there. And I pointed him out, and I said, him? It was the broad daylight. Right there in Belgrove Drive, right across the street from Washington School. And which is where I went and he went at the time. So they went over to him, grabbed him. Each of them held one of his arms, right? So he was out like this. And they're both holding his arms like up, kind of. So he was almost like even off the ground, but not. His feet were on there. They said, all right, Jay. And they didn't tell me what to do. Nothing. Nothing really. They said, okay, Jay, go ahead. Get him. And luckily, for me, bad for him, wasn't long, a couple of weeks or so before that or something, I had just seen Rocky in the movie theater, and I was transfixed with it. When I saw the movie, I was on the seat, boxing. I still remember to this day, 4 years old, boxing with the fight, took it so seriously. It was like for real to me, all that stuff. And oh man, I loved it. I loved fighting and stuff like that already at that age. So they said, go ahead. And I didn't take more than a second to say, I was like, I'm doing Rocky. I put my fist up. I went over to the kid and I just started hammering his face with my little tiny fists and my little skinny arms, But still, they were accurate, and he couldn't. It was like this, and boom, boom. And I even drew blood. He was bleeding, his lip was bleeding and stuff. So I was like, damn, And he had it on him, and they were like, yeah. They said something, you fucking, asshole, whatever. And they let him go. He was crying. He ran away. He ran back home. Guess what? He never did it again. As a matter of fact, he was very nice to me after that. Strangely enough, how that works, isn't it? But getting back to the point, learning perspective the hard way, that's what, let's see, my young opponent did. What did he learn? He learned, don't be a bully, don't be an asshole, don't fucking touch people, innocent, and fucking don't fucking be a bully. I bet you he wasn't after that. But that's an example of learning it the hard way. But you learn it that way. Got it? I'm not trying to be a teacher here or anything, I'm just saying. So sometimes I get these ideas in my head during the day and stuff. And I groove on them, I riff them out. I write them out sometimes. I think them and flesh them out. And, you learn things. I learn things, derive things from stuff like that. But, okay, so that was, I don't know why I was thinking about that the other day. I remember because I drove past it. I drove past the exact spot that I did it to this kid. 1974, 75 it was. But, okay, well, so I wanted to get into a little bit of today and after the past couple days, which have been pretty good, really good. My daughters were just here. They came here yesterday. Saw them for Christmas for the first time. And they slept over. And I left earlier A little later this afternoon, they left. I'm back, and it was great. We had a great time. We played Scrabble at night, and I lost. My daughter beat me. My other daughter almost beat me too, but we had a lot of fun, and it was cool. Something I wanted to say. A couple of things. Damn it! But then as soon as I start saying something I wanted to say, I feel like I make it more buried in my mind of losing it. So I think it's best sometimes to just skip over the thing you were trying to say or forgot. Don't try to remember it, and it'll come back clearer later. I just did several shorts again before coming on to do this, and I want to try to do a lot more today and get as many in as I could for 2023. I've got a lot of stories, real life things I've never told. I want to get out there. They're funny, they're cool, they're crazy, they're interesting. Squirrel story, lawnmower story, Archangel Michael story, South Carolina incident in more detail. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I'm getting over being sick. Isn't that lovely on Christmas? Let's see. I've been started getting under the weather / parentheses worn out around Christmas Eve-ish. I felt it coming on. And then you suck it up, and I'm not getting sick, and I'm just tired, and you go through it. But then the tired doesn't really feel like normal tiredness no more. It starts to feel like that debilitating, sick, cancerous tired, like in your stomach and everything. You start to like that, You go to take a piss, in the bathroom. You're like, can't sit up straight. Too much energy. You sit there, you lay down, you act like an idiot. You roll around, whimper, make terrible sounds. But you're getting ravaged by sickness or whatever. But you can't help but do some of that fact. I always do nothing. I just blatantly ignore it and wishful thinking that I'm not sick and I can get through this, because like I was saying yesterday, being sick to me is almost like a death sentence. It just means all that time sitting in the house, sitting in the room, can't even do anything. No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I enervate myself. And I'm going to stop doing that. Stop enervating myself. All right, I got a couple of little, like I said, little story ideas I wrote down, possible to talk and tell. And also I brought this out for y'all to see. No, I'm not lying. And I said I had been working on the journal, my favorite one, of all of them I did, the one that means the most to me. It was the most pivotal in my life, really, at that point, and almost even now, kind of, but some other things have happened since, but this is right up there. These 10 months, 1995, October to 95, to September of 96, when I sold everything I had, and I went in partners with my karate teacher, who I was close to becoming a black belt with, but not yet. And I lived in the basement of that second karate school, and I paid the rent with my money, and I lived in the basement, and I paid the dues, the rent for the school until I got enough students and stuff to pay it, and then I make money on it, and we were partners. And it was to be my school for as long as I wanted it after I got my black belt, which was also during those 6 months. I had my test in March, 5 or so years after I started training. It was a super intense test, full contact circle of death I had to go through. It's in here, and a whole bunch of things. It was really, I thought it was going to be bizarre before I did it. Signing the lease, living underneath the karate. When I say underneath, I mean I lived in a concrete square box that there's only one entrance to, and that was through the dojo floor, which you couldn't see it, but it was all the way in the back by the wall. You had the door and the main Av storefront, glass windows, length of the school, the store is empty, and right by the back wall, there's a cutout, a door in the rug recessed. The little hole thing, you pull it up. It's got the stairs, and you go down. You make a left, you see a huge old boiler. You make another left, you see a big rectangular concrete box with no windows or nothing in it, just a pipe run across the top. That's where I was going to live for an indefinite amount of time until the school got going or whatever. But I was fine with it. I wanted it. I couldn't wait. I didn't need luxuries and shit. I was like, damn, all that's going to be super hard, man. That's going to make me super hard. I'm going to be, I can't even guess at what this experience will do to me if I can last and do it. I'm going to be inundated with martial arts, teaching, instructing, training, 7 days a week, literally 24 hours a day. I lived there. I open a school, train. We have the classes, kids classes, adults, advanced. 4 o'clock open, did all that stuff. Everyone goes home 9:30, 10, except you know who. All right, see you guys. Let me go back in what where everyone lived. There's a little bathroom up in the office there. It was a very bizarre and weird time. Like I said, a lot of stuff happened. And I'm so glad I kept the journal during that time. And I did. And many of these entries are at 5 a.m. when I used to work at the gas station. And I've made this journal before, in 2002. I made it up at home, printed up a whole bunch of copies, little small copies, it's not a big one, and sold them for $5 to people I knew and everything. And people liked them. Actually, I sold as many as I could make. This sounds crazy, right? And I had another one I did, but people didn't like it as much. But anyway, so there's the background on this, all right? And I'm going to get it into a real book soon, but this, I don't really need to. I kind of want to so I can sell them too, and they can get out. And books are irreplaceable. But anyway, here I finally decided on a title for it again. It's going to be Semper Invictus. Okay, you can look it up yourself. Now, I'll tell you, but for those who don't believe me, it means always invincible. Okay, and here it is. So how about, what I'll do is, one day I should do a video and read the whole thing in one shot. But I'll just go with the first couple. Okay, I have my little quotes here. The first one is, diminish thou not the time of following thine heart, for it is abhorred by the soul. I didn't say it. It was in the Emerald Tablets. It's not bad for a little, do-it-yourself book. I got about 5, 10 of these I made. These are all in my handwriting too. My original handwriting, the pages were copied. All right, the next quote is one of my favorites, man. This is right up there with that Musashi one. The only life-giving answer is to divorce oneself from society, to exist without roots, to set out on that uncharted journey into the rebellious self. In short, whether the life is criminal or not, the decision is to encourage the psychopath in oneself. Norman Mailer. I wish I could have written Jason Mowad for that book. Norman Mailer. That's why I put that quote out everywhere. I used to do the open mics. I read them. I also have one picture from the time in my little box I lived in after I had fixed it up. I mean, I got a bed there and a rack, the whole stuff. And also my super dog at the time, my beloved brother of life, Bolo. My super Rottweiler, who I had for 12 years. Rest in peace, Bolo. I could easily cry over him in 3 seconds if I dwelt on it. And here's a picture of me and him, though. And the ceiling that I'll show you on this, that's the karate floor where everyone trains. That's how close it was, But here's me feeding him he was so good. He would be there during the classes, wouldn't bark, you know, 'cause he knew it was important to me. There's a story with Bolo. He was the best, man. He was the best. No, I'm not going to start talking stories about him because I'll start crying. I'm going to read one page, one first page of it, and that's it. Out of respect for the books, I brought it out. You bring it out, you read it, you don't read it. What does it tell? It tells the material, you don't believe it. You think it sucks. It's weak. It's not good for its confidence and its spirit, you know what I'm saying? Uh-oh, here comes the runny nose back. Shit. 10/19/95. It's my 24th birthday today. Great day. Been awake since 4:30 a.m. now. Now it's 11:53 p.m. and I have to get up at 4:10 a.m. tomorrow. It has been the same thing the last 2 days. I figured a B-day birthday is a good day to start a new journal. I have to stop and go to sleep. I'm delirious and am wobbling as I write out. I remember writing that journal entry. It was in this house, too. 95. Next one. November 14th, 1995. Back at my grandfather's house, up in my old room. This is the same room it all started. It was 4 years ago. It was July 2nd, 1991, when I began my martial art quest for my black belt. I had my own vision toward... I'm still not a black belt, but I am a green belt. I have been one for a little over 2 years now. A lot of things have happened in the last 4 years. Sitting back in this room makes me reflect on all of them. I haven't reached the state of mind I'm comfortable with, but nonetheless, I am getting closer. I am beginning to learn through pain, mine and others as well. Out. November 16th, 1995, 5:07 a.m. Sleep deprivation, sleep deprivation, sleep deprivation, sleep deprivation. Cold at 5 a.m., cold at 5 a.m., cold at 5 a.m. Out. November 18th, 1995. Saturday night, 10:55 p.m. I hate everybody in the goddamn world right now. Fuck everyone. I hate you. I hate everyone. Selfish, self-centered fucking people, I hate you. I hate the way you all make me feel, full of goddamn hate. Hate and more fucking hate. Oh, do I hate you bastards of the world. Death by hate, you bastards. I can only think of one person who I'd like to hang out with right now, and that just ain't possible at all for years to come because he's locked up in prison right now. He knows, though. He knows how fucked up and selfish the average human shitbag can be. I also know it, too, and it makes me hate every goddamn one of you. Sometimes I wish I was never born. Jay out. Bad day. All right, here's the next day. November 19th, 1995. I must keep to myself to assure single-mindedness and progression. I must break all my attachments, hang-ups. Must break all my attachment hang-ups. Lunatic Fringe is playing on my stereo. I'm starting to feel strong and mean. Fuck them all. 11/20/95. Monday night, and I'm semi-tired. Had a nice day today. I talked to my friend Jamie today, and that was really cool. Other than that, I wish I had my stereo here with me, because I would love to hear some of my CDs. Not much on my mind, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's kind of good. Nice tea. I didn't write as many of my writing pieces, as I call them. I don't like to call it poetry or anything like that. You know, writing pieces, it covers a one line piece to a multi-page piece. Well, I started writing back then, here and there, and I would write them in the journals as I wrote. Here's one. Boredom comes, boredom goes. Depression comes, depression stays. Anger comes, anger goes. Life comes, life goes. Pain hurts, pain goes away. Hate comes, then burns and scars, if it goes. Love comes if you're lucky and good. But what always happens is time. Eventually, we'll all come and go. I guess it does matter how you pass your time. I want to read more of it, but I'm getting tired, man. You know, maybe that's how I'll do it first. Maybe I'll read a handful of journal entries every vlog at the end or something until I get through it. I don't know. Sounds good to me today, right now, so I'll do that. So there. Thank you for listening. There's first 4 pages. Hopefully pretty soon you can have your own copy here. Improved with some artwork in it. Minimum. I was going to put a lot, but it takes so much time. And it'll be awesome. And you can buy one. It's very weird. Oh, it's always like going back in time when I read those journal entries, especially that one from that time, because, like I said, it touched my DNA in such a way. It changed. There was such a change in me when I look back now, before I went into it, and then when I came out of that year, and very hard, painful, extremely tough, and challenging. But looking back, I see how it benefited me. But at the time, I did not see the benefit. I could only see what was in front of my fucking nose, as usual, people, especially when you're young, you know? Your ego's driven or out of control, and you don't know it. And your priorities are kind of fucked up because you don't really have any real priorities yet. Or some people have them different times. Your values and beliefs are out of whack, if you even have them, or if you're even aware of them. Or worse, if you're running around on like your parents' values and beliefs, or your families, or your fucking, you know, people's, whatever, anything but your own. Again, try not to get heavy. Getting back to the thing, it's almost like going into like one of their movie things when I read these journals out loud, whether it's open mic on stage for people or on the videos or by myself sitting here. I just go right back in time to it. It ties me in. It's so bizarre. It's super intense nostalgia, like I can't explain. It was a double-edged sword of that is sometimes. Yeah, it wasn't all sunny, happy times, you know. It was a lot of tough, sad, crazy times, and they can come up too, and it sucks because once they come up and get out on me, I can't just wipe them off, you know, turn it off. It takes a little while, yeah, to me to shake some mood and emotion and shit. It sucks in that I'm weak like that, but I'm working to get better at that. Like, I got interrupted today from a nap. So hard for me to get sleep, ever, you know, with the noise and everything. And I finally laid down. It was like, I forget, it doesn't matter what time it was, but I finally laid down. Everything was done. And I had myself set for almost 2 hours or so. I could have slept today. I put my phone on. I put the airplane mode on. I put the ringer off. And I took the volume and I put that all the way down to 0. 45 minutes later, a phone call comes ringing right through, like totally unchallenged, you know, just as loud as fucking can be. I was almost on the fucking ceiling because I thought, I'm going to get sleep. No one's going to disturb me because the way I am and with sleep Doesn't matter. I could be up for 5 days, and I go to finally get to sleep. If you wake me up 20 minutes after that or an hour, not only am I a maniac, but I can't go back to sleep. I have to wait a while. It's the most damnedest thing. It's my whole life really has been like this, and I don't know what it is that makes me wake up early all the time when I don't need to. Like, yeah. Last night I went to bed at 4:15, and I was up at 7:50 at first. Took a piss, came back, laid down, was up again at 8:30, laid down again. 9:30, up again, and the day before it was the same thing. I slept 3 hours, up, and then back and forth, up, down for hour a clip. Sleep an hour, wake up, sleep an hour, wake up, sleep an hour, wake up. So anyway, when that happened today, I was fucking shit. I laid down on a nap, golden mood, perfect. Great time with my kids, everything, with getting along with my girlfriend, we're not fighting. Nothing. No problems with everyone. Nothing. Making it through this holiday season. Just need to sleep, really bad because I could feel it in my body. Sickness, it feels like I need a little extra sleep. And I got it, and that woke me up, like I said. But here's the interesting thing to me. Not interesting, annoying. Can't figure it out. It was the person didn't know. I'm not mad at them. If anything, I'm mad at me for being in such a state where I need a nap. That's so crucial. If I get wakened, it's like it turns me furious. I know that's the wrong reaction from me. So I just sat there and it's like, I'm gonna wait it out. I'm not gonna react. I'm not gonna throw my phone against the wall like I wanna. I'm not gonna punch it. I'm not going to take anything, I'm not going to react at all. But I'm also not going to lie and say I'm not fucking furious right now, because I am. Just at whatever dumbass luck that is, what goes through the 3 different things to keep it silent all fail when I need it. It's like, so that put me off for almost an hour. For almost an hour, I was fucking pissed off. Like I said, I wasn't reacting to anything, but internally, I was like, instead of going back to sleep and laying there, I couldn't, because I'd be thinking about it. I was just sitting there like, fuck, does this happen, man? Again, out of my control completely. So what did I get out of that? What perspective did I learn out of that? Well, I learned that there's going to be shit always that's out of your control. That's going to happen when it's not supposed to happen. My golly, Jason, that's just the injustices of life. And no one knows better than me. You have to take that when it comes the best you can, because there's nothing you can do about it and you're going to get it. Anything else is foolish, because you're just adding insult to your own injury by throwing an ego baby tantrum on it because it happened, and then you're whatever. So now you're creating all that damage and drama on top of the fucking thing. So what I learned is that I have to continue being aware and keeping it illuminated until it goes away in me. I have this problem with anger and with getting annoyed quickly. And when I do get annoyed, it gets to me. I usually, it's very easy for me to go from like 0 to 850. Really super fast. And I don't like that, I've never really tried to control it until recently, but I am. It's going to take a bit, but... So, I realized that too. You got to be able, when you feel yourself caving like that, doing the wrong behavior, whether it's sadness or angry or revenge or whatever, that the only way to really beat it and get out of it is to do the opposite of what you're feeling. I feel like I want to break this and smash and do all this stuff because that's what my emotion feels. That's what my ego feels like in the moment. It wants that quick gratification and, quick revenge and all that for a second of gratification for a fucking ton of afterwards problems. You know, so I realized it came down to me. As much as I wanted to blame this on someone, blame this on the phone caller, blame this on the phone, blame this on the other noises, all that, well, I could also blame it on me for not keeping better tight ship on my sleep and allowing it to get to that position where if I do a nap should be a bonus. It shouldn't be fucking vital for my daily fucking life. So that means I'm fucking up somewhere. And I reckon that's probably true. It's probably something with time management and how I always throw sleep and everything like that out to the fucking wind every day if I need to, if it gets in the way of other things I want to do. But I shouldn't word it like that because that's how I kind of used to be. I'm still like that a little bit, but I'm working and continue every day to fucking change these fucking self-sabotaging ways of mine. No one's going to do it for me but me. And that's that. So I finally got out of it though after about an hour. It fucking subsided. You know, my fucking killing rage fucking subsided out of me. You know, and I've also learned too that when I do get in that state, whether I'm right or wrong, I know it's advantageous to me to go for a walk or something. Do not react, because very many times I reacted to things I was righteously could act on, but yet then when I did, my reaction was overreaction, and it was now the how do you say it? Now the problem of the equation instead of the first thing that was the problem. I eclipsed it with over biting off, you know, too much punishment, I guess, you know, for the offense, and now I'm the one in trouble. You know, it used to happen a lot to me, a lot. Not so much anymore. Yeah, I've got it to where it just bums me out, you know, and I just have to remember too, you know, the anger feeling, all that stuff, it will go away. It will go away if I let it go away. If I dwell on it, it's not going nowhere. It's only getting bigger. Holy shit, it's 38 minutes. Wow, I didn't think it was going to be that long. Oh well, there it is. Well, it's the end of 2023, so who knows? May put up some more, but more than likely I'm going to go wind down, power down, and cool off. So I thank you all for listening, watching. I do without, like I said, without YouTube and people and the audience and stuff, this is dead over here. I don't get the outlet that I need to get my poor man's therapy off, you know. So it's a win-win, I reckon, and I really appreciate the likes and the subscriptions like you don't know. So, all right, my friends. If I don't see you all again this year, put something else out today or tonight. It'll be tomorrow, next year. But it'll be again later, I'm sure. All right, I feel the invisible big hook when they hook you when you're on too long. I'm going.